going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't.
Jake Paul has received a terrifying warning from Anthony Joshua. It's not just trash talk, either. Joshua's camp is exposing how deadly this mismatch could be, even though Paul may be looking at this as his biggest payout. Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, adamantly advised Paul to be aware of the risks, implying that a blow from AJ would have disastrous results. Former professional Moses Atama, meanwhile, didn't hold back while cautioning Paul that entering the ring with Joshua could result in significant injury risks.
Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz.
No, man.
Of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree with you.
on it in order to make.
Boxing insiders like Ariel Helwani cautioned that Joshua's sheer strength and experience could expose him to catastrophic damage, citing harsh knockouts as a legitimate issue. Many experts believe that Jake Paul's decision to fight Joshua is not just a tremendous bet, but also a major risk to his health.
He beat him 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury for crying out loud. He can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like, nothing's going to no doubt's going to.
Growing heavyweight Moses even advised Paul to prioritize his health over the money, cautioning that a poorly timed blow could have long-term repercussions. Amir Khan, a former professional, stated unequivocally that Joshua might seriously harm him. Brain injury could occur.
In like 2 rounds. Really? Yeah, why do you look surprised?
I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers, like, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
Well, when you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is, I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou, so.
And that's why you can't be surprised if AJ's going to do the same to, what's it called again?
This battle is about more than just money for AJ. There is a lot of pressure on him to win in order to preserve his legacy. According to experts like Johnny Nelson, Joshua has no chance of winning. It could appear like he is more of a businessman making money than a genuine elite fighter if he falters or prolongs this bout with Jake Paul.
I do believe it because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an no-win situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasts the distance. What does he tell you about AJ? apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what to say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul saying, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Nelson has provided a critical analysis on Jake Paul's boxing reputation. He doesn't believe Paul is a world-class boxer, but he does call him a genius for how he has developed his brand. Nelson claims that Paul is a skilled local fighter, but despite not having paid the customary boxing dues, his earnings are comparable to those of a world champion. Nelson notes that unlike most athletes, Paul didn't grow up in the gym or advance through the ranks. He first became well-known online. Nelson believes Paul has effectively made boxing profitable, but he is still skeptical of Paul's credibility in elite, high-level combat.
He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows not to get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea, and he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Carl Froch, a former champion, concurs, stating that a fight with Paul may damage AJ's reputation and imply that he is no longer destined for Hall of Fame caliber. Simultaneously, AJ has expressed his strong concern for his long-term well-being, stating that "I walked out well" would be his legacy.
Berners lit, like I've said, he's cashing out, and fair play to him, cashing out, but to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really, because if it's going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out, but people will argue, well, he's just taking the money and running, so you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fire. Now to get my opinion out there, because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a three-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get that behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights, but I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, there's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him, fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come back and become.
But Jake Paul is certain he can defeat Anthony Joshua, citing what he believes to be genuine weaknesses in Joshua's recent performances. Paul harshly slammed Joshua on his show, claiming that he is stiff, lacks skill, and lacks a chin. He feels that now is the ideal time to attack because Joshua's recent knockout loss to Daniel Dubois shown his deteriorating durability. Paul claims that he has a genuine chance in what many would describe as a huge risk battle because of his own unconventional approach, confidence, and momentum.
Why is Jake Paul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and strong through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Jake Paul claims that this fight is his chance to silence all of his detractors who have consistently said that he only chooses weak or unreliable opponents. He contends that he is finally demonstrating his ability to compete at the greatest level by taking on Anthony Joshua, a legitimate heavyweight and previous world champion. Paul claims that all hesitation vanishes if he defeats Joshua. I can't be denied by anyone.
Fight a real boxer. They said fight someone your size. They said fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Teddy Atlas is cautiously interested by the bout between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. He doesn't completely rule out the matchup, but he cautions Paul that it might be too much for him given the stark differences in class and experience. He suggests that Joshua would be vulnerable because to the ghosts in his attic, citing his recent knockout loss and lengthy layoff. Atlas acknowledges that Joshua is still the more proficient and potent puncher, but he says he's ready to take the risk to see what kind of AJ emerges.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you can twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and in some ways...
Atlas loves Jake Paul's hustle and business acumen, but he thinks Paul will never be a top-tier boxer. Paul is a work in progress, he remarked. Atlas doesn't think Paul will become a world-class athlete, even though he respects that he trained hard and didn't disrespect the sport. Atlas claims that Paul has established himself as an astute marketer. However, he is cautious when it comes to boxing at the highest level. He believes Paul is unable to just beat anyone.
That does it for this week's recap and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you, and that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now, the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that they get mad at me. that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that. Coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out there.
Ade Oladipo, a boxing pundit, has put it plainly. He believes Anthony Joshua will complete the task quickly if he and Jake Paul truly click. Oladipo contended in a recent interview that the risk of taking on a former heavyweight champion outweighs Paul's arrogance. He went so far as to say that AJ may knock Paul out in the first 30 seconds. Oladipo obviously favors Joshua's expertise and ability to control the fight, even as he commends Paul for having the courage to confront a much larger opponent. Jake Paul revealed a startling estimate, indicating that his highly anticipated bout with Anthony Joshua would be valued at almost $267 million. Paul's own tweet has sparked suspicion that the entire payoff, including streaming rights, pay-per-view, and other partnerships, might be substantially higher, despite estimates suggesting that Paul and Joshua might each take home $92 million. If accurate, their battle would rank among the greatest in boxing history in addition to being a spectacular athletic match.
And AJ versus Jake Paul. Jab.
AJ.
Defense.
AJ.
Chin.
AJ.
Footwork.
AJ.
Boxing IQ.
AJ.
Personality.
Jake Paul's ability to draw could be severely damaged if he loses badly to Anthony Joshua. Because of his social media following, Paul is currently one of the few crossover fighters that can provide high pay-per-view figures. However, a well-publicized defeat to a legitimate heavyweight like AJ would provide naysayers with ample evidence. They will claim that he is unreliable, unskilled, and unable to compete with expert professionals. Even his greatest attraction as a famous fighter can wane. If casual viewers believe Paul is only a YouTuber who plays boxing, they may stop watching. Eddie Hearn, Paul's promoter, has cautioned that if things go wrong, Paul's boxing brand may be doomed. In summary, the planned fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul is much more than a spectacle. It's a risky bet on several fronts. Paul believes it will be the bout that will ultimately confirm his status as a legitimate boxer. However, a lot of people think he's playing with fire when facing a heavyweight like Joshua. Paul faces significant health risks, according to his detractors, who point out the enormous disparity in stature, power, and expertise. Joshua, on the other hand, appears to be motivated mostly by money. According to promoters, he might receive his largest payout to date. However, a mistake could harm his reputation. Many in the boxing community view the bout as a risky match motivated more by money than by sporting merit, despite the fact that it guarantees enormous attention and financial gain.
That serious, he can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, I just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like you put him in with somebody's own size. It was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him. He's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds, like totally.
What are your thoughts? By facing Anthony Joshua, is Jake Paul flirting with fire?